Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts and you catch me at True Divine 4-4. This is the daily energy readings where I put out the readings that I feel for the energies of the day and combine that with the tarot work that I do, all to help you navigate your day to your highest potentials. Take what resonates as it is general and ditch what does not. There is no offense taken. Please leave a comment because it's great to open up that dialogue between one another, building up connections and building up a much more truthful story of what is going on in people's lives, how they navigate in the energies and in the areas that they live in, because we all know how biased and how corrupt the news is with all of the propaganda. So keep doing that, keep building those connections and use that comment section to do so. Please share out the videos wherever you can. It really helps me. It helps me with my business and it also helps me get the message across that will hopefully help others. So this is for this 18th, I was going to say 16th, 18th of May 2021. And it is interesting to say the least. We have got on the bottom of the deck the divine feminine energy of the Queen of Wands. Again, this is where we see her in her sensual state with her legs open and the cat representing the goddess energy at her feet, being a protector to the portal that is the creative womb, that powerful portal that creates beings into this realm, let alone everything else. This is a peaceful energy with the sunflower being held there prominent and the wand on the other side. This is a shy energy, but a shy energy that when stirred really builds into a beautiful creation. So if you're a painter, if you decorate, whatever you decorate, pebbles, whatever you do today that builds you up, that really releases you, that helps you make something that makes you feel beautiful, that makes you feel accomplished, do that, because it does more than you know to build up the frequency, the vibration that you are feeling within and therefore emitting out. It speaks to this divine feminine energy that cannot be expressed or talked about enough right now in the resurgence, the reawakening of the sleeping goddess, so to speak, in the consciousness of us all, or those who have the connection to that divine feminine energy, that divine goddess energy. And so there is huge connections to be made. And one of the main ways to do that is to make that connection through self, to really work on awakening that divine feminine goddess within. If you are male, working on building up the divine feminine goddess within others, being the master that reawakens that goddess. That is a role that will both build you up and the person that you work your mastery on, for sure. So there's much to be had on both sides right now. It speaks to the power that is very much underestimated and has been for a long time, since I believe this hijack took over. That womb, that creative space, that portal, that literal portal that beings can enter into this realm via. And so the energy of that is much more powerful. And with this being a shy energy, but then when it's in its element, you see it blossom, you see it be creative and really inspirational. This is where it's more subtle. It really is that divine feminine energy of that subtleness, of that softness, and that appreciation for the sweet things, for the happy things, for the blissful things. So find that in your day to day for sure. It will build you up more than you know. So on the bottom of the other deck, for the clarifying deck, we have the Two of Pentacles. This keeps coming out, and this is where there is a juggling of two material aspects in our lives right now. There is for a lot of people that are awake and aware, the witnessing of the potentials of being able to use what is happening, what is manifesting in the reality, to really release and liberate a lot of people, in particular the children. And also there is this juggling of the aspect that is very much asleep and what is to come from the so-called powers that be in particular. But in your individual life, it might be that you are still, juggling, really reawakening to self and connecting to self with um, the look of the old you that wasn't in so much connection with self, still juggling that aspect of you within people around you that aren't awake and aware, that haven't ascended quite so much. And so this is difficult for sure, and it is difficult to be able to put one of those pentacles down, in particular when they are those that we care about. But right now, this is what we are being led to do. We are being led to stop juggling and be really focused, really connected, really full of intent towards our greatness and towards what that greatness can achieve in this realm, and the direction that we go in. We really are also juggling the aspects that the so-called powers that be are planning and bringing in and doing, and sort of juggling that within our own lives. And again, it is time to stop juggling. It is time to make decisions in your sovereignty, in your divinity, to be able to, if you have a business, do not close again. Please do not close again. I was saying this from the start. If you are being pushed to take something that will affect the connection to your divine, to source energy, then it's time to put that pentacle down and stand for what you stand for. And so this is difficult energy for sure, and people are getting tired and worn out at watching and being in the juggling motion. It's not an energy that you can maintain for very long. It does speak to the infinite, though. It speaks to the infinite unfolding and creative process of life, of what life means on this realm. Things morph and change. Things new technologies come forward, new knowledge comes forward, ancient knowledge coming forward. That it's a tapestry, and it is in the infinite unfolding of what life is here in this realm, but also speaks to the infinite beyond this realm. And it speaks to you mastering the energy of knowing this, of knowing that you are an infinite energy, that you are something that you can take with you when your body is released. You are the consciousness of you. You are the soul. And it's important to not juggle in this physical realm too much with aspects that others try and put upon you, because this does create a disconnection to that infinite source energy, to that infinite connection to your soul. And so be really cognizant of that for sure today, and focus on your creativity, focus on your ideas and ways out of certain situations, with focus and with drive and with purpose. And so we have the Seven of Pentacles as the first card. So this speaks of hard work, diligent work, really, putting your blood, sweat and tears, all of those elements, your thoughts, into a physical manifestation. Some of you have worked hard all of your life, and you've built up something that is very worthwhile, that is a great what's the word, credit to you, and how diligent you have been in this realm to be able to maintain that focus, maintain that drive to build something that is good, that is great. Homesteads, the building blocks of a beautiful place to live, or a business that is flourishing. And there is this question because you feel different to those around you. There's this attraction of people wanting a slice of that for sure, with the Seven of Wands clarifying the Seven of Pentacles, and you being the main focus of that, but actually not in recognition and not in congratulatory energies, but just to see what they can get, so to speak. And so there is an attraction, but you intuitively know that the elements that you put in to work so hard to attain what you have attained, whether that be small or big on the scale that we go by these days, money, houses, cars, whatever. But if you've been putting all of your elements into that, the physical earth of you, the hands, the feet, if you've been putting your air into that, the thoughts, the intuition, the ideas, if you've been putting that air into that also, if you've been then putting your blood into it, because as you're working, your blood is continuously pumping, so you're putting your waters into it, the tears sometimes, the difficult times that we come across when we are building something that is worthwhile in this realm. And so you've put all of your elements into this, and the fire, the passion, the drive, and it has created a bit of fire and friction for some of you with this Seven of Wands, where you get in attraction, but not for the right reasons, you feel. But you are on the upper ground. You are this tree that is in the middle, that is of a much thicker trunk and a much firmer standing. You have literally built longer roots into the ground, and you are very grounded in this also, whereas the others are being a bit whimsy and, throwing things about a little bit, carelessly, words and stuff very carelessly. But you are the one that is growing mushrooms on your tree. You are the one that has, through this process, has reached a level of ascension spiritually also, by attaining in this realm, by really experiencing it and going hard into it, to create something that is worthwhile. And so for you, this is where the attraction is there, and you realize it, but to transmute that energy, to not pay too much mind to it, you again build solutions that fit for you, that make you feel calm and relaxed regarding it, and let the other Six of Wands, fight it out, battle it out, to get nowhere. You've built your roots, you are strong, you are grounded, if this resonates with you. Now, of course, the 7 and the 7 is 14, 1 plus 4, 5. So we have the change number. Number 5 is really prominent right now. Many changes going on in people's individual lives, and for sure on the stage, on the collective stage with the so-called powers that be. We are seeing infiltrators that, as far as the wider stage point of view with these two cards, we're seeing the fact that, they're sending soldiers in who are tricked into feeling or believing that they are needing to go somewhere to fight, to defend their land, to defend their people, and they're being lied to. They've worked hard, they've trained hard, they are very connected, they've put everything into their military training. And we're seeing today that it feels today, from what I can see, different soldiers, American soldiers in particular, and Russian soldiers being deployed. And actually, from above the government point of view, this is being directed and manipulated. And this is happening in quite a few places today. Unfortunately, we might see some soldiers on foreign land that are then killed on foreign land, and that would be a flag for war, because that then they could genuinely say to the people, look, this American troop or this British troop or this whatever troop is here, we killed them, but they came here and they came here to harm, and vice versa. And so we're seeing the same repetitive history of the soldiers, unfortunately, that are very close to my heart, being cannon fodder. And being used to manipulate change, to manipulate that breaking point, that energy where big things can happen, and it puts people in various countries on the defensive, when actually it was directed by sly bastards within each government that will listen to the so-called powers that be, the shadowy government that nobody sees, that are being puppeted and then puppet in others within each government that are willing to be bought and willing to do the bidding and manipulation of these shadowy beings. And so this is difficult, because it's difficult now to unwrap. But there are truths coming out about this. If not today, truths will come out about this, about soldiers being sent, soldiers thinking they're going for a very worthwhile mission, and being able to be killed on that foreign land, to show and prove to that people that look what they've done, and vice versa, and this to be the sparks of the sparring sparks of countries, which is so stupid, it's ridiculous, but this is what they are, this is what they do. We have the 5 of Cups in reverse, again 5. So this is where there is an energy of recovery. In the upright, there's much concentration on the 3 of Cups, that has been spilt, and very cloaked, very hunched over, stress in the shoulders in particular, and the neck, and the inability to emotionally disconnect from that has already gone, that has already drained into the soil, and turn around to see that you still hold a balance of your divinities within, your divine feminine, your divine masculine, represented in these 2 cups, that you can pick up and start again with even more experience, with even more wisdom and knowledge of whatever you have been through that put you in this energy. Now, in the reverse, there's been some transition here, there's been some movement here into a more hopeful energy, where there is the budding, the starting of healing. So for those of you who have seen people for what they are, and just wanting from you the materials that you have worked so hard to gain, rather than the connection with you, there's a realization within this. It's actually done you a favor. It's been a breaking point with that going to a 5, with the 7 and the 7, 1 + 4 being 5, and then going into the 5, but in the reverse, no longer fully engaged in the concentration of what has been lost and what could have been or should have been, or how it should be, but in the transition point of being able to transmute that energy and start to heal, start to see things for what they are. And so this is a delicate point, but it's very much a good point to be at when you've been going through any kind of turmoil, any kind of change. It's hope for the future. Now, it's great hope for your future in the decisions that you make now, to let go of that has been spilt, release the expectations of those that keep disappointing what you expect from them, or what you would dream to have from them. In releasing that energy, you really do gain even more abundance with the 10 of Pentacles, which is beautiful, even more sustainability, even more connections in the physical with those that really do resonate with you, that are of like mind and of like heart, and really do see you and connect with you for what you are. It's not just money and materials, it's the people around you. So this alignment, this 10 of Pentacles, is beautiful. To go from the 5 to the 10 is very powerful, and it should show you that you are capable. You are capable of being the master of alchemy and transmuting even the most negative of feelings into something beautiful and positive in alignment with you. So be super cognizant of that, be super kind to yourself, but also give yourself a bit of a kick up the butt to turn around and see those 2 of Cups that are sitting there, the people that are worthwhile having around, that do resonate with you, the things that you have attained, and the things that come in with you transmuting this energy. You attract more of what you have worked so hard to gain, but you haven't had to work half as hard to gain it. Now, 15, that would make a 6. So the 6 would then be moving into the man, the woman, the 6 proton, 6 neutron, 6 electron, what were made from decisions to be made, major decisions, being even more connected to the divine energy source that is the earth that you walk upon, that goddess energy, but also the divine within you, the spark within you, and feeling that spark of hope and attainment and a way forward and a positive change. Now, as far as the so-called powers that be, this really is an energy that can be used and utilized, and it takes all of us to do so regarding the gates of hell. He's not looking too good right now, and there is much more to come out. There is something somewhere that I don't know. I just feel that there is somebody has their hands on some of Epstein's recordings, and that has been the straw that has broken the camel's back. Also, there was, when I did a reading on it a little while ago, Melinda was very upset and hurt and embarrassed and scorned, and so I don't know if it's actually her that has this, or whether it's somebody else, but it really has given hope to the fact that has been taken, the land that has been taken unfairly and illegally, because whatever monies and profits that man has from the beginning has been theft, right from Microsoft to what he does with his roll-up sleevers and the damage that he causes. It is illegal money in my mind, and the fact that he has bought so much land with it strategically, there is much to be said for us really jumping on the bandwagon and keeping this in the eye of the collective, really awakening them to who is directing them to change their divine makeup, the divine connection to who they are, their soul's energy. Oh, I've just seen a little spider. I'll just put it on a bit of paper, because you're all right, you're cute, but you can't be crawling where you can't be crawling. Come on. There we go. Oh no, it's gotten out from under the glass. Stay under the glass. No. Sorry, I'll just get this spider. There we go, it's under the glass. I'll put it outside in a minute. Whew. So see how calm I was there? Phew. Wow. I can fight in the spirit, I can fight in the physical, and they are brilliant. They can see the stars, it has been proven, and they have self-recognition, and I understand that, but I just don't want them crawling up anywhere where they're not invited, and I tend to not adore that for sure. So I'll put you outside in a minute. So we have the next card. Yeah, so what was I saying? The finishing of that is that it is for us to really utilize this time, utilize this energy. No doubt there are very timed things where he is going to be scapegoated. He is very much on the same, possibilities of Epstein, of maybe not going to that extent, but scapegoat it, to say the least. And it is up to us to take up these energies and make sure that things stay viral in more ways than one, for for the sake of those who really don't see who is directing this plan, who is playing it out in the public eye and forcing it down our necks. So use the energy, hashtag everything, share everything you come across, be loud about it, stand your ground. It's time to take back that land. And that really helps you transmute too, when you are fighting with righteous indignation, when you are fighting with righteous honor. That will for sure allow you to really take that cloak off, spin around and see those Two of Cups that are yours, to gain back what is yours, your divinity, your sovereignty, your birthright to manifest and experience this realm as you see fit. So the next card is the High Priestess. So this is really interesting, and I've got to do a separate video on this. I wanted to pay attention to the pillars, Boaz and Jashin, the divine feminine and divine masculine balance. And so this is where the dark pillar there representing the divine feminine on the left, and on the right the divine masculine. I want to pay attention to this being the secret of all secrets, and the manipulation that we are seeing right now on our home turf, those within our home, and what we have seen for a long time in what I see as this hijack in the downtrodden and caging of the divine feminine, making her not real in people's consciousness, is therefore putting that goddess to sleep. And this is the resurgence of that energy, and you can feel it stirring if you're connected to it. And with this divine feminine, there is this secret that they have been keeping right through the Freemasons, down to, the pillars of each church. And if you look, a lot of them have the sun and the moon on top, representing the sun being the divine masculine and the moon being the divine feminine. And this is where we see that the Four of Wands clarifies this major arcana number 2, High Priestess. And so this is where the balance you see of the two, in that you, with these two on either side, in both man and woman, is the divine feminine, is the divine masculine. And so they are mirroring one another and being in balance, being in unison, being able to connect one whole with another whole, rather than broken and whole, or both being broken. This energy, and this is the hidden force that really does help us create this gaining back of footing, of land, of divinity, of sovereignty, of really winning in our own experience, as well as further on into the collective stage, being able to finally recognize what they have been hiding for so long, this balance of the divine feminine and divine masculine within. And I do not say that lightly when I say that over and over again, because the power that is within this, think about it, all of the triggers, all of the labels, all of the transgender pushing on children right now, all of the isms, the racisms, all of the divisions that they have manufactured and created. If you truly, whether you're standing there as a male with male genitals, or you're standing there as a female with female genitals, that's just your physical body. That's just what you have been birthed into, to experience yourself in this realm with these senses, to encapsulate one big superpower of a genie into an incy-wincy body, to be able to experience and the challenges and the resistance. The key that everybody has been made to forget is that in connecting with your soul, in connecting with your source energy, where they are trying to bring androgyny about, you've seen it in modeling for years, more and more, where they are trying to bring it about, and they are bringing it about in lower frequency vibes. They're bringing it about for reasons that do not serve for the greatness of the collective. But the same goes in duality, that same energy, if we were to recognize, no matter how we are standing here within this body, if we were to recognize, well, hold on a minute, this body's going to die. It doesn't even last that long anymore since they messed with the telomeres. This body's going to die. And when I reconnect with my soul, when I reconnect with my soul, not that you shouldn't be connected now in the present and the experience that you're in, and that's what a lot of people are working towards, you realize that none of those triggers, none of those divisions work. Color doesn't work. The race thing doesn't work. The amount of money, the class system doesn't work. What you have in this material realm doesn't work. You don't take that with you. You just take how you experience this realm. So if you can release yourself from all of those trigger points that have been used against you for so long, and really reconnect with the hidden secret that the churches, the Freemasons, all of them have hidden real deep, or they've diluted it so that it just looks hippie, shitty shit, flower in the hair kind of thing. Don't listen to them. They're hugging trees, which is important. You should hug a tree. This is where all of those things just stop working. All of those divisions and trigger points, poof, they're gone. Because we're just experiencing this for a short time in this lifetime. We might come back again as a man when we've previously been a woman. We might come back as black when we've previously been paler than snow. So all of those divisions don't work when we are really in true recognition and reverence of the fact that we are more than just this body. We are more than the skin color. We are more than the religion. We are more than the sexual preference. We are more than all of that. And so the energy of the divine feminine is really calling you back into the womb. And funny enough, Wayne did an awesome show today, but it'll be yesterday now. He did an awesome show about the recognition of consciousness and the jumping into the fetus, the body, during pregnancy, of this enormous being, this enormous consciousness being squeezed into an itty bitty little genie lap of a baby's body. Babies are so connected to that wisdom. And this is why they are now attacking babies with this transgender thing. And the parents that are going ahead with that, shame on you. Because babies, children, right up to teenage years, aren't in full recognition. They're exploring. They're exploring who they are. Their hormones kick in, and then, they get a real idea of, who they are and what they are and how their body functions and what drives their body and what forces their body and the impulses that they have. But before that, children are experimenters. They don't recognize skin color. They don't recognize, unless they've been manipulated and taught to do so, they don't recognize, differences that are so surface layer like that. They don't do that naturally. And so we can learn a lot from the babies, the children of this world. And now in us connecting with that, and in us releasing ourselves from all of these divisional trigger points that have been manipulated into this system, into this realm, the beauty, connection, and abundance within that is created in your home, in your relationships, the projection that you put out there is immense, is super powerful, and actually it takes their bullets out of their gun as far as the so-called powers that be. They needed this to be hidden. They needed us to not understand the two pillars. And even within their teachings, they've manipulated and distorted that so much that, you know, the woman is evil and dark, and the sun is beneficial and abundant. No, you need both. You need the fire and action of the sun to grow things, to give a spark of life to things, to allow photosynthesis to work. We need that, but we also need the cycles of the divine feminine, of the womb, to be able to even birth beings into this realm, to be able to be intuitive, be guided. And so this is a much deeper message in that what we do here, as other dimensions, as other realms within the star system, what we do here impacts, like a domino, impacts other places, let's say, impacts other realms and dimensions, and vice versa. For too long, we've been living under the mistruths of secret societies, organized religions, that have even had us looking at the lens of the divinities that is the moon and the sun through the distorted lens that they wish us to look through. You know, the female dragon, oh, she's a dragon, she's a witch. If you take the divine feminine down within, whether you're male or female, genitalial wise, you take down the divine masculine. It's the divine feminine that holds the divine masculine, that holds everything. Look at the womb. It is the divine masculine that brings the spark of life at the right point in the cycle, if that divine masculine is a master. And so just think of even looking at the sun and the moon through the lens that is not distorted, that is not smeared and dirty and difficult to comprehend. Think of the difference that would make, not just to hear. See, we have a stake, I feel, in where we go next. We have a stake in other dimensions and in other realms. Because if we get pushed into there when we transition through this life onto the other, or whether we've ascended enough that we damn well decide where we go, we far better have a good effect on this realm and be able to take that experience with us in order to have choice on the other side and have already had a good effect on other realms. I feel that's why this planet has sort of been locked down, locked off. Not because it's hated quite so much, but because parasites moved in a long time ago and distorted all of the lenses, all of the ancient secrets that we once knew. Distorted the power source that we all are when we are in true connection to our boat, our soul. Made up stories to characters to look outside of self for saviors, instead of being able to look at that and say, well, actually, it's the story of my life. It's the story of my spine. It's the story of me gaining my backbone. I can resonate with that, but it's me that's walking it now. And so this is a super, super powerful message today. And the energy that you can draw upon within this day is very, very powerful. All of these added up together, I'm sure, come to a cycle end of 10. You really can take the bullets out of their gun by recognizing this, truly recognizing this. Truly seeing the relationship as it should be between man and woman. Divinities recognizing divinities and acting accordingly. And then see what kind of sex magic can occur. What kind of miraculous things you can get done, healings, works, creative projects, ideas, technologies. It's not all about the surface war. It's actually very little to do about that. We take the bullets out of their gun first and foremost by recognizing truly who we are, truly the connection to the divine, and being able to see that within others. So, really good day for those that choose to use it that way. I appreciate you all listening. I had to go a bit in depth about that. I'm going to do a video on the High Priestess energy and the teachings of that card, like I did the Tower card, because there is so much more to it than you can cover in daily readings. I go very deep into it in personal readings when it comes up. And this energy is ripe. It's all around us right now for us to absorb and use and utilize for our greatness, and therefore the greatness of the people around us that are affected anyway. And so really interesting energy. She's been veiled for too long, distorted for too long. And so even with the cross on her chest and that pale green around her, this is the heart. This is the connection to the heart, to the compassion, the intuition, the empathy, but also to the keeper of the secrets. She is the secret. Hiding her has been the secret. So whether you're male or female, if you're male, be in connection with your divine feminine so that you go out there and masterfully work to help guide and awaken any divine goddess you feel drawn to today. If you're female, really work with that energy, really build yourself up, adorn yourself with things that make you feel good, scents that lift you up, walk like a goddess, talk like a goddess, and allow only masters to come anywhere near you in that way. So much love, much balance, and much wholeness. I appreciate you all more than you know. It's been super busy and I haven't been able to do as much as I wanted to do in videos, but I will be catching up. Wish I could use OBS. I need a tutorial on it because it would be so much easier to have slides in the writing on the wall video, but I'm going to keep chipping away at it. I'm going to keep trying to understand it and get to grips with it. But I feel like a novice pilot sitting in the cockpit looking at all of these buttons, lights and things going back and forward and pressing and then losing everything that I've put on there because I pressed the wrong thing. So work with me. I appreciate you all more than you know. If you want a personal reading, you can get in touch with me, or if you want any energy flow sessions, or if you want any spiritual guidance sessions, if you're local, energy flow massages, which rock, you can email me at truedivinemedia@gmail.com, or you can go to my Facebook page, True Divine 44, and message me there. Like the page while you're there. Join the other groups that I've started up, True Divine Truths and also Truth Warriors. Get into trouble sometimes for the things I share. Me and my friend tag team on there, but you can share whatever you come across on there and be a part of the conversation over there too. Much love, balance, and wholeness. Mwah. Ta-da.